Okay, we are recording. Okay. Same video, or different video, same topic. Dealing with relationships, people. Everyone just wants to be loved, isn't that right? Something like that. I just think it's kind of sad. Yeah. That's right, I think it's kind of sad how some of the people I know approach that stuff. I've always been in the court of, I'm more of a serious person, right? It's not like I'm looking to marry someone, right off the bat. Obviously not. But I don't want a phony relationship. If it's a mutual thing where both people understand what if it's the mutual thing where both people know what's going to happen, and then that's fine. But a lot of times, at least for me, it's been maybe I really like the person, or at least want to like them based on what I've seen, and they're just willy-nilly don't know what the fuck's going on. That can be annoying. That's prevented me from wanting to be in any serious relationship, to be honest. And like I said, I just know people who are in relationships, and oh my gosh, it just never works out because they're such bad people. Well, I won't say that. They're not bad people. I'm gonna go back and go that way. I like that road better. I take it back. They're not bad people, but they treat people of the opposite sex bad. A lot of the guys that I know talk to, I think they understand that the guys they're talking to aren't that serious and really are only in it for one thing, or just to hook up or whatever. But a lot of the times some of the girls become more attached or whatever, and then when the guy dumps them, they get all upset, and I just don't like that. It's pretty bad. But that's the way some people are, I hear it so many times with the same people. Oh, I'm in a new relationship. I really like her. I think it's she's going to be this is going to be the longest girlfriend I've had, and maybe he doesn't say I love her, but that's some serious stuff he's saying, and I am doubting the guy all the way because he's literally said it 10 times maybe. Maybe that's a little exaggeration, but more than 5 for sure. And a lot of the times I never even met any of these girls, right? So it's just pretty sad. And maybe I don't see the guy for a couple months, and then when I see him again, oh, what is he doing? Talking to more people on his cell phone, or on their cell phones. What happened to the girl that you were talking to? Oh, we're not going to bring her up. I don't want to talk about her. Oh, okay. You only told me that you guys were fucking perfect for each other, but okay. And that's the thing with guys like this, guys that girls think are good looking, or for some reason they're drawn to them, so they'll let them get away with just about anything, right? They don't care what kind of bullshitters they are. They'll just put up with it because they think they're good looking, or whatever the reason is. And it's the same for girls too. I've talked to girls that have screwed me over but I'll continue talking to them because they're good looking, or because I have no one else to talk to. But you know, after they screw you over enough times, you just say fuck it. And you know, I'd rather not talk to anyone than have to put up with that bullshit. So that's that. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's pretty simple, but I just try to treat people how, I'm not saying everyone here, I'm saying people that I actually am talking to, I try to treat them like I'd want to be treated. If they've screwed me over or done something, I'm not going to retaliate against them. I'm just going to stay away from them. But if you've given me no reason to screw you over or treat you badly, then generally I'm going to treat you pretty good. And if you look at like same-sex relationships, that's how it always works if they're not gay, which I don't even want to get into that. That's a weird subject. But if you look at like guys that are friends, they're not going to be friends if one of them screws them over, right? Because they don't have an ulterior motive of hooking up with the person. It's, if you screw me over, I'm not going to be your friend, because there's nothing you can say to me or do to me that I'm going to forgive you for it, right? But with like a girl and a guy, it's just the common opposite attract things, you know? Like, they'll put up with the bullshit because they're in a relationship, or because they're, you know, romantically involved. They'll just continue to put up with it. And becomes really dangerous, because then you get more attached to the person and you don't know when to call them out on stuff and leave them and dump them, right? It can really drag their life down, right? Because maybe they're not the person you thought they were, and it can drag your life down because you have to put up with it and be around it. So yeah, and if you look at girls, I mean guys and girls, if they're, you know, girlfriends, and girls that have other girlfriends, generally if one of them does the other one wrong, then they don't really want anything to do with them, you know. They don't have that romantic thing going on that can heal everything. Most of them, at least. You know, although some of the girls I know are kind of freaky, or at least that I've heard about. Turning right, okay. I'm glad that guy didn't follow me. He was really tailing me. It's a good view of the mountain there. Hope you guys could see that. I think it's a maturity thing though. I'm still kind of young. I was talking to a lot of girls that were a couple of years younger than me, or at least 1 year younger than me, and you know, their goal is just to get attention. They want to talk to as many people as possible, and they want to have those people tell them they look good, and want to do stuff with them, and whatever. I don't know, I'm not a girl, but that's what I can infer about 19 and 20 and 21-year-old girls for the most part. They're just looking for attention, and it's pretty bad, especially with all the technology today. It's a nut buster right there. With all the technology today, they're on their phones all the time, right? I need to get 100 likes on my picture. I need to, you know, I'm texting 30 people right now. Well, I want to make it 50. I want to text 50 people. That's my goal. It's ridiculous. I mean, I go weeks without texting anyone. But that's some of the girls, and it's even some of the guys. Although for girls it's more about attention. I think it is more about attention. For guys, the only reason they talk to girls is just because they want to hook up. And that's pretty bad. I don't really think girls want that as well. I don't think guys really don't care about getting attention as long as they're like have some sort of romantic thing going on. They could care less. But some of the girls just, we're still recording here. Some of the girls really will just, they'll talk to anyone. They'll talk to anyone. They don't care. They're never gonna. And then it can be bad for the dude that's talking to him, because he thinks he's somewhat special, obviously, and the girl's just talking to him because she's bored. And then you got maybe some bad things that can happen. But it can go both ways. I've definitely known guys that will keep texting girls but aren't interested in them or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that if it's a mutual thing and you're just friends, that's fine. But I don't know. Everyone I've dealt with is just, wow, they're just not reliable and not consistent, and you don't know what they want, and I don't want to say bad people, I really don't, but when it comes to like, I've done to some people I've liked, I've tried to give them a lot of attention, not attention, I've tried to give them respect, and every now and then I'll get them something, and it's just not reciprocated in any way, and it's kind of sad. And I've said it's kind of sad a lot, but it is kind of sad. That guy wasn't waving at me. There's a segue to that topic, actually, because I really do want to talk about that. The frickin' Harley guys will never wave at you if you're not on a Harley. And sometimes they won't even wave at you if you're on a Harley. It's crazy. All the sport bike guys, they'll wave at just about anyone. Sport bike guys will wave at all the sport bike guys, and most of the sport bike guys will always wave at any motorcycle. Some of them don't, but most of them do. But the Harley, this could be bad. The Harley guys that look like, your stereotypical white guy with a goatee and like bald head and wearing the leather and all that shit. They give people a bad name. I don't like those guys. Some of them are friendly. I'm not gonna make a stereotype about it, but a lot of the guys just won't even fucking look at you, and they think they're so cool, and they're not gonna wave at fucking anyone. What the hell is going on here? I'm gonna go. That's how they feel, though. I think that's how they feel. The guys that are on the Harleys, they probably spent their life savings to buy a Harley, because they're like 15 grand, maybe even more. And they're pissed off that you're riding a better bike and that you spent like 1/5 of the cost on it. That's what it is. That's the thing. Like my dad has a Harley, and I ride it occasionally, and I'm nice to everyone, I think. But these Harley guys will, I think they're honestly pissed off. They don't like Japanese bikes. Everything's made in America, right? Everything. Made in America, and riding that Japanese thing, like, get off it. No, it's not that bad, but they just don't respect you. They think you're lesser because you're on a Japanese bike. Because I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding at all. I was just riding motorcycles one day all day. Got on this bike, Yamaha, right? Bunch of Harley guys went by. Seriously didn't even look at me. Just, you know, I gave like a hand wave, got nothing. 5 minutes later, went back home, got on the Harley, fired it up, went out. Same guys that I passed coming back through town. Oh, they're all giving me highs. You know, they're all waving. It's pretty bad. I mean, you're only gonna wave at people that are on a Harley Davidson. I don't know. I probably won't ever get one of those bikes. They're way too expensive, and to be quite honest, they're really not that fast. Unless you want to put a bunch of money into it. I mean, I'll see 15-year-old Harley Davidsons on Craigslist for like 10 grand. I mean, are you kidding me? They have like 50,000 miles on it, and they're asking 10 grand. So I'm going to go to my former statement that when they see a different bike on the road, they're pissed off that someone's riding a bike that's way cheaper and honestly probably better quality, and they're having more fun. That's what it is. It has to be. It has to be. That car that just passed by is the driver's ed car for the high school I went to, and it's still the same car. They're still using that Chevy Impala or Chevy whatever it is. I think it's an Impala. Still using it. That car's been driven around this town more than any car, I bet. The whole purpose of that car is to just... I've been in that car. I've been in that car and I thought I was going to die. Because I was driving with a person who had, I'm not kidding you, had never driven a car before. I don't know how the instructor let them drive. But someone drove to like, 15 minutes away. And we were in a parking lot, so the instructor was like, well, okay, you can drive here for your first time around the parking lot. And she did. And she was terrible. And she was slamming up. She didn't even know. She said this. She said, which one's the brake and which one's the accelerator? I'm not kidding. She didn't know anything. And of course, the instructor guy has a set of brake pedals and a brake pedal and a gas pedal. So he had to, when we actually got on the road, he had to, I honestly thought we were going to get in a crash. Like, maybe I didn't think I was going to die, but it was a 2-lane highway, 55 mile an hour or so, and she was swerving all over the place and didn't know where to put her hands on the wheel. And to most people who have driven it all, you just couldn't believe that. But this person, I don't think had ever sat in the driver's seat of a car, so she didn't know what was going on. She wasn't familiar with how much you had to turn the wheel, and it's almost like having someone who's driven a car and then making them drive a manual for the first time. You're gonna suck. You're gonna be terrible. Even when I started, I don't know how to drive. I can drive a stick, but not well. I've only done it a couple times, and I drove my brother's car, and he got pissed off at me. I didn't stall it, but I gotta watch out for this gravel. I did not stall it, but I did I just didn't 100% know what I was doing, so it was kind of chunky going through the gears. And he got upset, and he said, "Get out of the car, I'm driving," because it was his car. And that's the last time I drove a stick, so I don't really know how to drive one that well. But anyway, this girl was terrible. Never driven one, and of course, let's just put 2 other kids that are 16 years old in the back seat, and if we hit someone, you're all gonna die. That's basically what it was. She didn't know what park was. She didn't know any of that stuff. It was sad. I mean, we had to put the car in reverse for her, and she didn't know what the R meant, and the P and the D, and park, drive, all that stuff. And what gear do I need to be in? Do I need to change gears? No, it's an automatic. So I guess that's the place to learn, but I was kind of scared. Anyway, it's starting to rain, so I better end it. You guys have a wonderful day.